Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Orbit of Learning by Swati Singh. So we were studying the chapter Introduction to Biology and Living Organisms. So we'll just continue. We have done several topics of this in my previous lecture, which is the BL-1 lecture 1. So if you have not seen that lecture, just go through it. So today I'll just continue with my second lecture of this, right? Biology lectures will come on Wednesday and Friday, right? Start up with my lecture now. Classification of living organism, right? R.H. Whittaker in 1969 proposed a 5-kingdom classification system based on certain criteria like cell structure, mode of nutrition, reproduction. He divided living organism into 5 kingdoms. इन्होंने क्या किया था, जो लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म है इनको 5 किंगडम्स में डिवाइड किया था. सो द फर्स्ट वन इज मोनेरा. These organisms are unicellular prokaryotes. They do not have well-defined nucleus and membrane bound cell organelle like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, plastids, lysosomes, etc. as found in eukaryotes. Mode of nutrition is either autotrophic, जो खुद अपना खाना बनाते हैं, as in blue-green algae and some bacteria, or heterotrophic, which are dependent on autotroph, mycoplasma and most bacteria. Based on the development, there are 2 types of bacteria, archaebacteria and eubacteria. So this is a filament blue-green algae. You can have a look. Now we'll study archaebacteria. These are group of prokaryotes and also known as living fossils. This question can come, which is known as the living fossils, so you can say archaebacteria. These are special bacteria which live in some of most harsh habitats like extreme salinity, high temperature, acidic as well as hot springs and marshy areas. These are also found in gut of ruminants, example cow, and help in the digestion of cellulose and produce gases like methane. रुमिनेंट्स क्या होते हैं, जिसमें जो है वो खाना एक बार इनटेक करते हैं, वो डाइजेशन उसमें जाता है प्रोसेस के लिए, उसके बाद फिर वो माउथ में दोबारा वो लेते हैं, उसके बाद फिर च्यू करते हैं, फिर लास्ट में वो एक्सक्रीशन के लिए होता है. उनको रुमिनेंट्स कहते हैं. जैसे काउज होती हैं हमारी. नेक्स्ट इज eubacteria. They are called true bacteria and are characterized by the presence of rigid cell wall. If they are motile, they have flagella. It was discovered by Liu in 1676 and was named as bacteria in 1928 by Henberg. Louis Pasteur worked on fermentation and is known as father of biology. Important question. Who is known as father of biology? It's Louis Pasteur. Next is the general characters of eubacteria. These are most simple and primitive organisms. They lack cell organelle like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, etc. However, ribosomes are present. They have rigid cell wall made of pepticulums and the inner membrane made up of proteins and phospholipids. Usually they lack chlorophyll and thus depend on other sources for food. Certain bacteria possesses chlorophyll like cyanobacteria and thus have autotrophic mode of nutrition. They reproduce asexually by binary fission. Sometimes under unfavorable conditions they produce spores. Next one is the cyanobacteria. They are also known as blue-green algae. So you all have to learn what are the other names for all these 3 bacterias. They contain chlorophyll A, which is also a constituent of plant cell, thus making them photosynthetic autotrophs. They are single cell, colonial and filamentous marine and terrestrial algae. Colonies of blue-green algae are surrounded by a gelatinous sheath and they grow well in polluted water. These organisms have the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen in a specialized cell called heterocyst, example nostoc. Chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria oxidize inorganic substances like nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia to produce energy as ATP. Majority of the heterotrophic bacteria are decomposers, which are helpful in daily activities like curd formation. There are certain harmful bacteria which cause diseases like typhoid, tetanus, cholera, etc. Next kingdom is Protista. This group consists of unicellular eukaryotes. Membrane-bound cell organelle like mitochondria, plastid, and sap vacuoles are also present. Some protists use appendages such as the hair-like cilia or whip-like flagella for movement. In some protists, like amoeba, movement takes place by pseudopodia, false feet. Mode of nutrition is either autotrophic or heterotrophic. Plankton are photosynthetic, so they are responsible for maximum amount of photosynthesis, which is 80% occurring on Earth. They have eukaryotic organization in cell. Cell wall is cellulic and cell membrane containing organelle are found. Nucleus is developed, ATS and 70S, and ribosomes are present. The cytoplasm is in streaming movement. Protists reproduce sexually and asexually by cell fission and zygote formation. Their life cycle is found to be both haploid and diploid. Algae, slime molds, and protozoans are characterized under the kingdom. Protozoans, Protista, have animal-like behavior and are of following types. Amoeboid, these live in fresh water, seawater, or moist soil. They capture their prey with the help of pseudopodia. Example, amoeba. Flagellated, they are either free-living or parasitic and possesses flagella. Example, Trypanosoma. Ciliated protozoans, they are the aquatic organism and have thousands of cilia. Example, Paramecium. Soprozoans, they have infectious spores like stage in their life cycle called example, Plasmodium. The next kingdom is the fungi. These are eukaryotic, non-green, lacking chlorophyll organism. They are heterotrophic in nutrition and obtain food from decaying organic material and are so-called saprophytes. Right? So what are saprophytes? They are heterotrophic and obtain food from decaying organic material. जो decaying organic material पे dependent होते हैं उनको saprophytes कहते हैं. Many become multicellular organism at certain stages in their life. They have cell wall made up of tough complex sugar called chitin. Reserve food in fungi is in the form of glycogen and oil. Fungi are cosmopolitan, that is, can be found in air, water, soil, on plants and animals. Fungi are filamentous. Their body consists of long, slender, thread-like structure, hive, which form a network called mycelium. Mycelium is septate and branched. Example, Trichoderma. Its examples are yeast, agaricus, that is mushroom, Aspergillus, penicillium. Fungi are divided into three main groups. Sexual, this involves conjugation of two gametes or nuclei. Asexual, this type of reproduction occurs with the help of spores. Example, mucor. Vegetative, this type of reproduction occurs by fission. The next kingdom is Plantae. They are multicellular eukaryotes with cellulosic cell walls. They are autotrophs and use chlorophyll present in chloroplast for photosynthesis. All plants are included in this group, forming visible form of biodiversity. जितने भी plants आते हैं वो इसी के अंदर आते हैं. The first level of classification among plants depends on whether the plant body has well differentiated distinct components like root, stem, leaf, etc. They can reproduce via sexual, asexual and vegetative means. The next level of classification is based on whether the differentiated plant body has vascular tissue for transport of water and other substances within it. Further classification is based on the ability to bear seeds and whether the seeds are enclosed within the fruits. ये depend करता है कि seeds जो हैं कैसे available हो रही हैं. Classification of kingdom planted. The first level of classification in plant kingdom is based on the fact that the components of the plant body are developed or not. Next level classification is based on the presence of absence of certain specialized tissues for transport of water and other substances. Plants are also classified on the basis of the ability to hold seed. Based on the above criteria, plants are divided as. अब इसमें division है. First है cryptogamy. The thallophytes, bryophytes and pteridophytes do not have external flowers or seeds and have naked embryos called spores. These plants are therefore also called cryptogamy, meaning hidden reproductive organs, because their reproductive organs are not clearly visible. First इसमें क्या बात phyta का बात कर रहे हैं. These includes plants that do not have well differentiated body design. The plant in this group are commonly called algae. Algae कौन से plant kingdom के अंदर आता है? Thallophyte. These plants are predominantly aquatic. Algae are green thallophytes, autotrophic that contain chlorophyll. इसमें chlorophyll होता है. Algae देखा है जो हमारा ये काई जिसको बोलते हैं. These have cellulosic cell wall. Food is reserved in starch. Vascular tissues are absent in thallophytes. Most of these reproduce by asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction takes place through the fission of gametes. Fusion of male and female gametes leads to zygote, but embryos formation do not occur. Zygote form by the fusion of gametes directly gives rise to offsprings plant by meiosis. Example: Cyprigra, Euthrorix, Cladophora and Chara. The next one is the bryophyte. These are the first plant to live on land and need water for reproduction and therefore called the amphibians of the plant kingdom. These are more developed when compared to thallophytes. The plant body is differentiated to form stem and leaf-like structures. They have rhizoids in the place of roots. There is no specialized tissue for the conduction of water and other substances from one part of the plant body to another. These are autotrophs and usually occur in damp, humid and shaded localities, right? ये इसके characteristics हैं. Plant body is gamophytic, but saprophytes is attached to it in order to derive nutrition. They are divided into liverworts and mosses. It's an example of moss and liverworts, right? The third one is the pteridophyte. Plants belong to pteridophyte group are also known as botanical snakes. These are the first land plant having vascular tissues. The plant is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. They are mostly found in cool, damp, shaded areas. They have specialized tissues for the conduction of water and other substances from one part of the plant to the another. These plants are mainly terrestrial and saprophytic. Flowers and seeds are not formed in these plants. Gamophytes in these plants is highly developed in structure and is very small. Fertilized eggs give rise to embryos. Its examples are malsa, ferns and horsetails. The next one is the phanerogamy. Plants which make seeds and have well differentiated reproductive tissues are called phanerogams. In these plants, seeds consist of embryo along with the stored food. The stored food serves the purpose of initial growth of the embryo during germination. Seeds results from reproductive process in plants. On the basis of whether the seeds are naked or enclosed in fruits, these are divided into two groups. The first is the gymnosperms. They are naked seeds plants, that is seeds are not enclosed within the fruit. इसमें जो seeds हैं वो fruit के अंदर नहीं हैं. The plant of this group are usually perennial, evergreen and woody. The flowers are represented by unisexual cones both present on the same plant. Example, pine. These plants have cones instead of inflorescence in which special leaves called sporophytes are attached in the groups. Male and female cones are present in separate trees. These have highly developed vascular tissues, but their xylem lacks vessels and folium lacks sieve tubes and adjacent cells. They do not form true fruits and are pollinated by wind. Right? Next क्या है? Angiosperms. These are called flowering plants. Their seeds develop inside an organ called ovule. It modifies to become fruit. They are annual, bilineal and perennial. Flowers are differentiated and may be unisexual or bisexual. Ovary is present which gives rise to fruit. These flowers can be pollinated by various means like air, insect, animals, wind, etc. Seeds are always enclosed in fruits. Plants, embryos, seeds have structure called cotyledons. Cotyledons are called seed leaves because they emerge and become green when the seed germinates. Angiosperms are divided into two groups on the basis of number of cotyledons present in the seeds. Monocotyledons or monocots, they are plants with seeds having single cotyledon like maize, wheat, rice, etc. The next one is dicotyledon or dicots. These are plants with seeds having two cotyledons. Example, pea, gram, beans, etc. So I'll just continue the fifth kingdom, Animalia, in the next lecture. So if you are liking this series, please like, share and subscribe my channel for more such videos. And still, if you have not seen the first lecture, please go through it so that you can just get to know the basics also. So thank you so much.